cervicogenic dizziness or cervical vertigo. So, if you are a busy executive mom, you are working in an executive role, you've got younger kids, you've already got your hands full, and this cervicogenic dizziness or the cervical vertigo can really stop you in your tracks. So let's look at how can you manage this cervicogenic dizziness or cervical vertigo with some effective strategies. Now, in my previous video, we had spoken about how this dizziness happens and what are the symptoms, as in what are the symptoms that would indicate that you do have dizziness that's originating from your cervical spine or your neck. So if you haven't watched that video, you can go to my YouTube channel and have a look at it there, or wherever you're watching this, the video will be there on that platform. Alrighty, so before we get into the topic for today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids to help them to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, joint and nerve pain. And I do this by giving you simple exercises, easy lifestyle modifications, some simple tips and tricks that have worked for me in my own spinal, nerve, and joint pain journey. So I do all of this without taking away much of your time because, hey, we're moms, we're busy people. And so without taking more of your time, let's get into some effective strategies for managing your cervicogenic dizziness or cervical vertigo. So if you missed that previous video I was just referring to, in a nutshell, there are nerves that are exiting your cervical spine on either sides, and in the upper to mid cervical spine, there are these nerves that actually go and supply the back of the head. If these nerves are getting irritated or compressed, it can lead to a couple of symptoms, one of which is cervicogenic dizziness or just dizziness. It can also be accompanied by headaches, which are known as cervical or cervicogenic headaches. And it is more common than you would think, right? So and of course nausea, etc. So have a look at that video if you haven't watched it. You can even go to my YouTube channel or go to YouTube and type Swati Prakash dizziness or headaches, and those videos will pop up for you. All right, so the very first thing that I want to talk to you about is the way you position your neck. Now, that might sound funny, but basically, we're talking about the posture or the position of your neck. Now, most of us as executive moms, we are staring into a screen for long hours. And even if you're taking repeated breaks, if you are keeping your neck in a poor posture, for example, one of the commonest one is a forward head posture. So if you are in this position, even though you're taking repeated breaks every hour or every half an hour, taking breaks is important, and it is something I really emphasize upon. However, if you are sitting in a poor posture with that neck protruding out, you are going to do more harm than good. So what can you do? So as I said, this is a forward head posture. Basically, it's called that because your head is sitting forwards in relation to your body. When this happens, there is a lot of stresses that build up around your cervical spine, shoulder, upper back area. However, we are concerned about the upper to mid cervical spine here. So one of the simple things that you could do is a chin nod, which is a very simple postural correction exercise, a very effective one, however, in which you need to look at a point in front of you. So you could stare at the wall, or for giving you an example here, I'm going to hold this pen in front of me. So if I was to hold this pen at the level of my horizontal gaze here, and if I move this pen down about 5 to 10 degrees from the horizontal, so this is horizontal gaze for me, and I move it down by 5 to 10 degrees, and when I look at this pen, my chin automatically nods by about 5 to 10 degrees. So when I say 5 to 10 degrees, if this is 100% of a nod, you are only nodding your head by 5 to 10 degrees. This puts your cervical spine, especially the upper to, well, even the lower part, but we are looking at the upper to mid cervical spine, that comes into a neutral alignment when you nod your head down by 5 to 10 degrees. Now, what does this mean in terms of practical everyday activities? The top of your screen should be about 5 to 10 degrees below the horizontal gaze of your eyes. Most of the people nowadays use laptops. So what happens is when you have your keyboard, of course, you have your keyboard on the level of your hands. You To be honest, you need a separate screen if you're going to be looking at a monitor or a screen. If that is your everyday office life, you need to have a separate monitor, because you need to have that screen such that you're looking down like this and not looking up Okay. Some people like to just mount their laptops on a stand and then have a separate keyboard. See what works for you. As long as you keep that neck in a neutral alignment so that you're not irritating those nerves in the upper to mid cervical spine, it is going to make a world of difference to your dizziness. However, remember, if you've had dizziness for a long period of time, it does take a while for it to go away. It's not like you're going to align your neck in a neutral position and dizziness will disappear. If that happens, very good, but usually it takes a bit of time. So the other thing is also a very simple, effective strategy is hot packs. Now, usually when you have these nerves getting irritated or compressed in your upper to middle cervical spine, mid cervical spine, leading to that dizziness or headaches, etc., these muscles around the hairline, especially, and the back of the neck, tend to go into spasm. If this is something that's been going on for days, months, and years, you may not realize it. But if your neck muscles are in spasm, they're going to go into this tightened state, which again is going to in turn compress or irritate the nerves. So it's like a cycle of irritation of the nerves and muscle spasm that goes on and on, and you want to break that cycle at some given point of time. So try using a hot pack. Now, you could, if possible, as per your work, see what your work permits, you could try and do the hot pack application a little before your dizziness starts. So, for example, I know when I start sitting at my desk another 2 hours down the line, I'm going to start getting dizzy. So, maybe after an hour and a half, or once you start getting that niggle of dizziness, try using that hot pack in your cervical, on your cervical spine area. If you're at home, you could also you could also substitute that for a hot shower. See what works for you. So heat, basically, when you apply heat to any part of the body, the blood vessels open up or they dilate. So they, sorry, not open up, they expand or they dilate. And when they dilate, there's a rush of blood that comes in, and there is washout of all that metabolites and pain producing substances that are accumulated in the area. And of course, heat has a relaxing effect, so those muscles tend to relax and the tension in the muscles reduces. So try applying a hot pack, if possible, at least a little before the dizziness. If you don't know or you can't figure out, or if you're at your work or in a meeting and you just can't time it well, apply a hot pack at least in the beginning of the day, and probably when you wake up, or go for a hot shower when you wake up, and towards the mid of the day, when you know you are in that peak of sitting and staring at a screen, or you're going to get this dizziness. Now, these were the two strategies that I wanted to cover here. I have written a blog on the same topic of cervicogenic headaches, about managing cervicogenic headaches. I will leave a link in the description of this video. There is another point that is very important. However, I'm not going to address it here because the video will get too long for you. I have addressed that in my blog. So have a look at the blog, and there is also some additional things in the blog that will be quite helpful for you. I will also link the video about why you get the dizziness in that blog itself. If you're watching me on Instagram, the blog will be in the link in my bio. If you can't find it, just message me or just DM me, and I'll send the blog to you. The blog will also have a freebie in there which talks about what are the causes of your dizziness. So if you're not sure if it's cervicogenic, that is coming from your cervical spine, or is it your inner ears, what is the cause of your dizziness, you can also get that free guide in that blog. So check it out, it's a good one. And if you have any questions, any comments on the video for today, do let me know and I'll address them for you. Alrighty, I'll catch